Okay, so we're making a last minute table runner, and I've folded and pressed a center marking on the lengthwise part of the fabric on my front and on my backing, and my backing is wider, and I'm going to pin right at that center point, and then I will be sewing my other side. While this is not the most exciting part to watch on video, I'm going to bet that this isn't taking more than 2 minutes. So my sewing time so far will be about 4 minutes. Okay, so now we'll go back and press, and we're going to press the seam allowance towards the center. So I am pressing towards the center from the wrong side right now. Press the seam flat first. So I'm going to do that here on the other side. Just helps set your seam, get the stitches in there nicely so that when you press towards the center, it lays better. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I am using steam. Since we are in Colorado and the relative humidity is as low as it is, I personally think steam is important to help get things to lay flat and crisp. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it right side out. And I want this to center in between, and I may need to press just a little bit more and get that any tucks out of this seam. Trying not to press a crease in these side seams yet. So the back comes around to the front, makes it look like you sewed a border on. And I'm eyeballing this. If I were at home, I would probably measure this so that I have exactly the same amount on each side, but I think I'm close enough. So okay, so I've now spent more time pressing probably than I did sewing. There is not batting inside of this. I think sometimes we get a little hung up on things needing to be heavier, and we're not going to quilt this one either. And now that we have this, we're going to fold this guy up to here. flowers in, like so. Wrapping a present. Like so. Then if you want to, you can come over to your cutting area and you can cut part of this triangle off, just to reduce your bulk. Like so. Then you will have that folded, fold up. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have cut that because it should miter. There we go. It comes up one more time and I just need to press that back in. And let me do that. So I'm pressed here, and I'm bringing this up. Then I have a perfect miter right here. I would pin, and I would top stitch here, here, and right there, and that finishes my edge. And I would do exactly the same thing on the other end, and I'm done. So I'm going to say this is probably less than half an hour from start to finish, and it could be a holiday theme, it could be something that goes with your best friend's table. Make one for you, one for everybody on your Christmas list. So we know that we are less than a month now till Christmas, and it's all those last minute decorating and or last minute gifts that you need. And they need to be quick, but you need to get credit for doing something really amazing. So we have this wall hanger or door hanger. It's very long, but it's done using 2 panels of fabric. One of them is this stripe, and the other one is this stripe. And all you really need to do is cut this one apart, equal increments, to give you 4 identical width stripes. And then you will cut all but 2 of these. So you will start with one of the words, alternate with the wise men, words, wise men, words, wise men words. So you have 4 words, 3 wise men. The original instructions for this called for putting wise men top and bottom, and you certainly can, but it is extremely long when you do that. So you sew those together. They are all cut the same length. You can decide how wide you want that to be, and then you are putting 2 borders on, machine quilting and binding, and you are done. So this one, I think the top took me maybe a couple of hours to put together. And I know people say, but yes, you're really fast, but this really isn't. It takes longer to cut it than it does to sew it because you are fussy cutting those borders. But that is a nice quick panel idea. And another quick panel, and you can get several gifts out of this one. There are 4 different designs on this panel, and you can actually quilt it the way it is if you want to, but you can cut it apart. And I did cut apart, and I used Amazing Grace for this pillow, and I took one row of words out of this panel to put across the pillow perpendicular. Uses a bed-sized pillow. I did the flap in the back and just stuffed a pillow in there. I think it's a very professional looking pillow when you get done. Did a smaller pillow using a polka dot. Again, I cut one more word strip out of that, put a border on either side, and again envelope the pillow. Those took 45 minutes, maybe max. And then this one is 1 Corinthians 13, and there is a little booklet that goes along with this one that has ideas, and it actually has the pattern to do the bag. So again, I used that same polka dot, and I cheated, if I can get this back on, and this particular handle just snaps on, or clips, so you don't have to sew anything, and it's all set to go. Put soft and stable inside, gives it a nice amount of body, and I just put a lining, sewed a pocket to the lining. Also panel-wise, we have two really fun ones that all you have to do is back it and quilt it. And this one is, there are always flowers for those who wish to see them. And so there's a bouquet of flowers around, or a wreath of flowers. And on this one, I used cotton on the backing and bound it. And then we did a second one that is a different, and this one says, "You are so loved." But what I love about this one is we put just flat minky on the back and quilted it. And I hope you can see that, but it just made a beautiful pattern on the back. And when I put the binding on this one, did it all on the machine, sewed it from the back, took it around to the front and top stitched. And this one says, so you can read it, "You are so loved." And again, a lovely wreath of flowers in the form of a heart on this one. And then
let's see if we can see the top stitching here.
one of those decorative stitches on your sewing machine that you never know what to do with. Catches everything really nicely. You can throw them on the floor if we're getting too high of a pile. Then Nancy put together this fun table runner, fairly new pattern from Atkinson Designs. Most of you are familiar with Yellow Brick Road. This one is a mini brick road, so it's the same technique, but you are using a charm pack to put this one together. So all you have to do is get a charm pack, cut it up the way the instructions say. We actually included the backing and the binding in this kit as well as the pattern and the charm pack, and I'm going to say that's probably a morning's worth of sewing. And then not quite so fast with this guy, but this is a very cozy flannel quilt using one of the new fat quarter stacks from Maywood, and it is just comprised of 9 patch blocks. Half of them have color in the corner, half of them have black in the corner, and there are 9 patches per block. Blocks are 18 inches, and you are making 12 of them, putting sashing in between and a border on the outside. So it works up quickly, but you've got to have a little bit more time to get that guy done. So I hope that that gives you some ideas for quick projects to get done between now and Christmas. You do have a little more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks, not a lot. Happy sewing.